would like to give some background to myself. I have been receiving disability support for about 20 years. To some extent, a number of people with disabilities and myself have been doing a version of self-directed approaches. So for some of us it's not a totally new concept. So I hope this will give some context to my answers to these questions. Self-directed approaches to me means 1. Having a clearer understanding of how much funding I have to use. 2. Having the ability to make the most of my funding. For example, choosing services which have lower rates, but at the same time, being mindful of the quality of the service I use. 3. Being able to choose when I receive the service. Although I did have this choice to some extent before self-directed approaches. With self-directed approaches, I sometimes have more funding for worker assistance with recreational activities. And I am sometimes able to save more funding for worker assistance. For example, to go on cruises or trips. As I said before, I would like to have more trips overseas. But to do this, I need to save more hours. Or to put it down as a goal. So I have sufficient hours to take a worker with me. As I use the majority of my funding for support worker assistance, the most creative thing I have done is choose a service with lower rates to give me a few more hours of support. In the bigger picture, I hope all people with disabilities will receive sufficient funding to have a satisfying and productive life. One major difference will be once you have been assessed as eligible, you will receive the supports you need and not be put on a waiting list. Hopefully people with disability will have more flexibility and spontaneity to do what we want when we want. That is having the same expectation as everybody else for education, employment, leisure, marriage and children. I hope the NDIS will be able to bring about appropriate wage rises for disability support worker wages. On a personal level, I hope the bands of funding used for SDI assessments will increase so people can receive an amount which can adequately support their needs,